This is a series of 100 films about Japanese places I've been. And this is a film about the only place Japanese people will dress up in a costume in public. Harajuku is a neighborhood in Shibuya Ward, Tokyo Prefecture, in the Kanto region, the area around Tokyo, on the island of Honshu in eastern Japan. It's serviced by the Yamanote Line, the Chiyoda subway line, and the Fukutoshin subway line. The first time I went here was my second day in Japan. I'd walked down from Shinjuku station. It took a little over 20 minutes. Now this will date me, but when I moved to Japan, Harajuku was associated with a pop song by Gwen Stefani. And for me, I wanted to visit because I'd seen it in films from the 80s by Wim Wenders and Chris Marker. Part of their films about Japan documented men and women who showed up at the entrance to Yoyogi Park dressed like West Side Story-style greasers and sock hoppers and fashion straight out of my parents' childhood. Koen. Well, they're still there. However, nowadays girls also show up dressed like strawberry shortcake and anime characters and hang out every Sunday. Just a little bit north of there, across from the station, is Harajuku Street. This is the shopping street, the Shotengai, and it's packed with people on the weekend. Even most weekdays it's crowded with teenagers. A lot of the stuff they sell is colorful and cheap. There's a huge Daiso, that's a famous discount store. And the Harajuku branch is spread over 4 levels. Harajuku is great for people watching. This is where those with strange fashions congregate. Some people say fashion comes from the street. Well, this is that street it comes from. The truth, though, is that in Japan, more than any place I've ever been, people copy their clothing choices from magazines. Koen. So men will copy their style from men's magazines like Popeye, and women copy from magazines like Sweet, Linier, and JJ. With women, and sometimes men as well, age, job, and social class will have its own style of dressing in Japan. Individuality and countercultural forces are much less at play, and sure, in English-speaking countries, people dress to fit in, but in Tokyo, it feels like everyone dresses to fit in. There's lots to buy along the Harajuku Street, plenty of stores to get lost in. Without any worry, you'll empty your wallet. As you head towards the end of Harajuku Street, you'll end up closer to Omotesando. Lots of shops, but the vibe is the opposite of Harajuku, expensive and conservative. And when you get to the end of the road, there are plenty of places to stop for coffee and dessert. There's a rotating sushi restaurant, but instead of sushi, it serves cake. Or you can visit Sweets Paradise, an all-you-can-eat buffet of cakes, puddings, and brownies. It's a chain that's everywhere in Japan, but in Harajuku, the characters that show up at this one, well, you know, this branch, might just be a little bit more interesting. How do I get there? If you're new to Japan, you'll probably want to start in Tokyo from Shinjuku Station, since it's the busiest train station in the world. Take the Yamanote Line in the Osaki direction to Harajuku Station, about 4 minutes. As always, remember that this information may be out of date by the time you're watching this. The word of the day. The word of the day is koen. It means park in Japanese, a useful word during the long Japanese summer. So if you want to remember this word, feel free to watch this video 10 more times and repeat along with me. Or at least that's what I do. Next time. So that's it until next time when we visit the #1 place to gamble in Japan. So until then, sayonara.